So, as usual for this paint job, most of it came out just fine. Part of it went sideways. Hey folks, welcome back. So last time we got our color down, that turned out friggin' awesome. I am super happy. And now it is time to put this under clear. We want to get our tape lines buried and leveled out. We also want some protection over our paint, and supposedly clears just make candies pop. So that is definitely something that I would like to see. I want to see that silver sparkle come through them. So that's what we're going to be doing this video, I believe. And what we're going to use is our UVLS clear that we were using for our candies. Normally, in the past I've used 2K automotive stuff, and it's nice. It has a good build to it. It's easy to get a good layer so you can wet sand it and get it flattened back out. I wanted to try this just because of how recoating works with it. You don't have to scratch it up between layers, and it will dry. When it's dry, it's dry. It's done. So that seems interesting to me and good for my workflow. I'm a very erratic person at working on this thing. So being able to let it set for 2 or 3 days, come back and pick right up where I left off is actually kind of nice. So we're going to try that, get some layers built up on it. I have gone over, made sure there are no major spots that stick out that need to be hit with some Scotch-Brite or something. But we just need to put these on the stands. I will make a note that I am not going to, I almost said ain't. I ain't going to put my drive bays back in this piece because I don't need to build up any clear on those. They don't have tape lines. I do need to build up on this, so we'll paint this, get it to where it's flat. For our final coats, we'll throw the drive bays in and get them cleared too. I may spray them separate. I don't know. Adds a lot of extra effort in figuring out how to hold these tiny little pieces. But we'll figure that out when we get to it. For right now, we're going to tack this stuff off, get it put on our stands, spray some clear down on it, and see where we end up. So as is the norm for this paint job, some parts went good, some parts went sideways. My back panel and my front panel came out just fine. The door, on the other hand, I went a little heavy-handed on it, and the candies decided to bleed. So that's an issue. Actually, when I first saw it, I was crushed. I thought, we're having to repaint the whole door. I'm just done with this. Might as well throw the case away. I'm just finished. Luckily, when it finished drying and curing out, it wasn't as bad as it looked, and a couple of days of settling down, I am going to have to fix it. So what I'm going to do is respray the silver, just tape everything off, respray it, and it should be fine. But man, talk about just my heart just dropped to the floor. So that is the plan. We're going to tape all this back off, spray silver, and then we're going to switch over to our 2K. That won't bleed, or that won't open up this paint that's already down to bleeding, so that solves that problem. Has a little higher build as well, so it should build in fewer layers. The 2K is going to be the solution. That should get us done relatively quick. We'll get this thing fixed, we'll scuff everything up, put the clear on it, let it cure overnight, then should be able to come back, sand it. Hopefully it almost gets rid of all of our tape lines and levels everything out. It should be close. It may need one more coat over the top of that and then have that sanded out to really flatten it out, but hopefully it goes quickly. So let's go ahead and get this thing fixed up. All right, so everything is cured up, and I went ahead and scuffed these with a Scotch-Brite pad to get a little tooth in them. So we are now ready for some clear. All right, that's the first coat of 2K clear down. It came out pretty well. I remember that clear going down faster and building up faster, but I don't know if it was the gun or me, whatever. It's a little bit thin of a coat, but it works. It's got everything capped off that I want, and it all came out without causing trouble. So that's a first for this case. But now we're going to go in, take some 600, knock down some high spots. I'm not going to get too deep into flattening this out on this first coat because I think it's kind of thin, and also that first coat of clear, sanding that scares the crap out of me. I am 100% sure that I'm going to burn through, so I'd rather have another coat on top of that. That's why we're just going to take some 600, knock down any edges, Scotch-Brite this thing out so the clear has something to stick to it, and then put another coat on it before we start trying to like sand out this thing to get it flat. Other than that, I think I'm going to tape off the top and bottom of the case and probably part of the door. I don't need extra clear on these. They're not being leveled out. They're just fine. And all the extra clear would do would waste clear coat, build up extra material that might impact our fit, and give me a chance to put runs and oddball things into the paint. So I don't need any of that. So we'll tape these off and keep our spray mainly to our designs. And then once we get those flattened out, we'll take everything down, get it ready for one last coat, and then coat everything all at once. But that is the plan. So I'm going to get my sanding block set up, and we are going to get this ready for some more clear. Okay, that's our second coat of 2K clear down. It's looking really good. I think it's starting to get pretty close. So we'll sand this down. I think one more coat to level it. Then we'll sand that and get everything flat. And then we'll spray the whole thing with clear. And that should finish the paint on this thing. So let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so I think that's our third coat of clear. The door is looking about done. I did have an extra layer to kind of help bring that silver up, so that definitely helped it. I think maybe one more coat on the back panel, and I think the front panel might be done. So we're going to go through, sand these out, and see where we stand. And then if we need to put some more clear on that back panel, we'll hit it, but not add more to these others if they're already flattened out. And basically, I'm trying to get everything flattened out for the designs, and then we can just kind of scuff everything and then put one last clear coat on and be done with them. I am trying out a new little Orbital sander here for this. I hate sanding, so I figured I'd give this a shot, see how it works. And I didn't invest a lot in it. It's a cheapie from Harbor Freight, so if I like it, I know Milwaukee's supposed to be coming out with a cordless version, and we'll see how it goes. So let's go ahead and get into it. Holy crap, why did I wait so long to get one of those? I had other like dual action sanders and stuff, and I thought, man, there's no way this will ever be handy on something like this. But that thing, that's life-changing. The door came out pretty good. There's a few spots where it's a little low. I think the last coat of clear will fill in that good enough for me. If this is something I was charging people money for, or someone money for, I would probably put another coat on it just to not have those at all. I mean, they are very, very minor little spots. But since it's for me, and I don't think it's something that anybody will ever see, I'm okay with a little bit of low spots before this last coat. So that's done. We'll go ahead and hit the edges with hand sanding just because I am still leery of burning through on something like that. I did almost, I did almost do the front panel. The thought went through my head to be like, and I thought, no, I know myself too well. That would definitely, I'd kill something. So that'll be hand sanded. Also the door or the back of the case, I've still got to put a couple of coats on this. I think at least one. So that's what we'll do. We'll get the edges of everything sanded up in this front panel to make sure I'm good on it. But then we'll finish it. No, excuse me. Finish sanding this edge with some paper by hand, and then put another coat on this. And I think I might even do the doors. Since I'm not going to have these other two panels in there, I'll have some room on my stands. I can put those up and at least get a coat on them to make sure that I'm not going to, wait till the end to put my final coat on everything. Get the little drive bay covers, and then they need an extra coat to be smoothed out or something. So we'll sand the front panel, get this thing ready to get painted, get those ready to get painted, and do some more clear. I mean, it just keeps going. So, okay, that's what we'll do. So we've got all the designs flattened out finally. They look great. Went ahead, took everything that I had taped up to do that, untaped it, scuffed it. We are now ready for our final coat of clear, and we're gonna mix that up, spray it, and then the case will be painted. And we can finally get done assembling this thing, because I only have like a week and a half or two before we've got to head down to QuakeCon with this thing. So kind of a little bit of a rush at the end here, but that's typically how I operate. So we'll get these things tacked up, get them cleared, and then see what they look like. And that's the final coat of clear. Came out great. Everything looks perfect, except halfway through this panel, I ran out of clear. And not like I didn't mix up enough clear, I need to go make some more. Like literally no more clear in my house. That was the last bit in the can. I was, 10 inches away, like 6 passes away from having this thing perfect. A little bit of orange peel, which doesn't bother me on this. That close to being a perfect job of the clear and being done. But no, this paint job hates me. It just cannot let things work out nicely. So we are going to color sand this one to get this top kind of laid down. And basically what I'm going to do is take some 1000 grit over it, because it's not rough. You can kind of feel it a little bit on the touch. Most of it's on the glare where you see it. But we're going to take some 1000 grit over this, just knock this flat. I'm not going to worry about the corners a whole lot, anything like that. I'm not going to get too in depth with it. Take some 2000 over that, polish it up, and then we are done painting. I just want to be done painting. So that's the plan. That's what we're going to do. We'll get everything set up. The polishing wise, I'll probably move you to the other room. I'm going to grab a new wool pad, which means that wool is going to be exploding everywhere. And I prefer not to do that in here where I actually have to clean it up before I can do anything else. So we'll do that in there with the fan on. But we'll get this sanded out and get it polished out, and then we can finally start assembly. Okay, so that went extremely well. I'm always scared of cut and buffing these. I don't have a lot of experience, and I'm always worried I'm going to tear something up or burn through. I probably could have gone up another 1000 grit to a 3000 grit paper on this just to get some of the little, if you look at it just right, you can catch some sand marks. Probably could have used a heavier cutting compound, but that will actually pull out like 1200 grit sand marks. So it might just be more passes with a polisher. Maybe a little bigger polisher would have done more, but you know what? It looks freaking good. It is like damn near mirror finished. I'm happy with it. It turned out great. This paint job has about beat me to death, but it's done, and I'm happy with it. And wow, So with that wrapped up, and we are ready for assembly. So we can start putting the interior of the case back in, put the door together, maybe start getting some components in. I'm not going to promise anything because I know how that works. Every time I do, it's like, oh yeah, but this didn't work out. So, but yeah, I'm sorry that this video took so long to get out, but I wanted to not give you all 5 videos about me putting clear coat down on something. And I just wanted to get it finished, and that's where we're at. We're done with the paint. So, awesome. I guess until next time, get out there and mod something.